Hi, today we're going to be talking to one of the most renowned actors, producers of Hindi film fraternity. He's here in Vancouver to promote his latest movie, Char, Sahibzade. Let's welcome Harman Baweja. Hi, Harman.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Freezing.
Welcome to Vancouver.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Canada, I must say.
Yeah, it's actually a lot better than other cities in Canada.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's still cold.
That is true as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for taking out time to talk to Darpan magazine.
Of course. Pleasure's mine.
Thank you so much. And first of all, we also want to congratulate you on making such a brilliant movie. I mean, it takes a huge attempt to bring such a story to the audience with such a big significance in the history and such a masterpiece, right? So, and the response has been great so far. So, how do you feel?
Well, I mean, about the response, I think it's only natural to feel really good.
Yeah.
I think when you make a film like this and you put in so much, when you put in so many years, and primarily you're putting in all these years for a subject which is so close to your heart, and it's been, I think, 2 days since the film's released, and jo bhi response aa raha hai, it's been very, very encouraging. I've had videos of people sending me where people are literally like coming out from the theater crying and not being able to really speak about the film, and some coming out all charged up. I think the mixed bag of these reactions just make you feel like it's probably well worth the effort that you put in.
Exactly.
Like my dad always puts it, it's like the marathon runner. When he finishes the marathon, he doesn't think about how much he ran before. You just think about that moment. Feeling as well.
That's very well deserved and well earned.
Yeah.
Now, when you mentioned about a few years going
Yes.
into this subject, how did you actually, or your team, how did you actually come up with an idea to make a movie on such a sensitive and brilliant topic?
Well, I think it kind of dates back to a good. It dates back 5 years. Jada to sadu idea hai ji film banana. But if I was to actually sit down and actually analyze how this film comes about, it comes about, I think, from all our childhoods. I think I don't think ਏਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਿੱਖ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਜਿਹਦੀ ਜਾਂ ਨਾਨੀ ਜਾਂ ਦਾਦੀ ਜਾਂ ਭੂਆ ਜਾਂ ਚਾਚੀ ਮਾਸੀ ਕਾਕੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੇ 100% ਚਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ ਦੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਹੋਣੀ. And I think it stems from there. It stems from the fact that my father obviously wanted to do something for I would say for Sikhi. Obviously that's where those are our roots, and that's where he comes from. And as Piche, I think we thought of this story, which I think the story kind of has the potential to go beyond just the community that knows of the story, because it kind of engages everyone from all walks of life, and from different sects, so to speak. And yeah, so I think hence we picked up this story. But it's been a long journey. It's taken us 5 years to finally reach this point where I'm having this conversation with you, freezing myself in Vancouver. I'd say, but it started from meeting SGPC, getting them on board and making them understand what our vision was, and very supportive on their part to sort of understand and help us. And I think we were sort of hand in hand all through the journey of the film to the release, and then get historians on board, got a couple of university professors on board, got the best of animators we could manage to get. So yeah, it's been a team effort.
Yeah, it's a journey altogether, right?
It is quite a long one.
If you do talk about the storyline for the movie, it is based on our 10th Guru Gobind Singh Ji's 4 sons and how they laid their life for fighting against injustice.
Yes.
So it is a tale of bravery and courage.
Absolutely.
What kind of impact do you feel would this movie have on the audience or youth, for to say, in terms of
I'll tell you, there are I may digress here, so stop me if I digress. But I feel that I find it very relevant to today.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is obviously I'm hoping and praying that none of us ever have to remotely face war in our life, or actually reach or reach a point where we have to actually get martyred for a cause, but today we talk about human rights, and that's what Sikhi was really born from, if you come to think of it. It's a sect of people who stood up for somebody else's rights and were ready to give up their lives to protect them. And I think that itself in itself is what human rights is all about. Of course, it's an extreme case of human rights, but then again, how it relates to people today, I feel is that somewhere all of us, every human being, every granth in the world that we read, whether it's the Holy Quran, whether it's the Holy Bible, whether it's Bhagavad Gita, whether it's the Guru Granth Sahib, pretty much says the same thing.
Yeah.
Each one tells you to find God within yourself. And from over the past 5 years of working on this film, from what I've kind of taken out of that is that what they're really trying to say is the inner voice.
Yeah.
which we all have, which is pretty much what is your conscience and what is your morals and what you think is the right thing to do. But at a lot of stages in our lives, I mean, I'll speak for myself, that I've probably squashed that voice and gone ahead and done something, or gone for it, knowing that it's probably not the right thing to do. But at that moment, my desire overtakes the conscious.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much where this film actually ends up, if you really see it. So it's like a layer below a layer, which is what this film will touch. So I think if we can actually somewhere listen to that inner voice, we will stand up. But I'm not saying we need to stand up for war, but there's a small thing like you see someone crossing a street and the woman probably needs help, or someone's getting ruffled up and you'd walk away saying, I don't want to get into that mess. Now a part of you wants to go there, but a part of you says, "ठीक है, रहने दे यार, मैं किथे जाके फंसना है." I'd rather just go run my errand or whatever. And then you're gonna think about it after an hour. It's gonna play on your head because I should have gone. All of us go through that.
Exactly.
And that's, I'm saying it's probably 0.01% of what the Char Sahibzade did. They went all out. And I think. So in our adaptability in today's day and age, this is what I would kind of
there's a big relevance in that context, because this is what's required in terms of when your conscience kick in, and maybe this movie will kind of trigger that in every human being.
Hopefully.
Well, that's the whole goal, right? Now, when you talk about morals and when you talk about what this movie is basically intent to trigger in terms of audience, when the whole process of making the movie, the journey, because you are the creative producer of the movie, how was the journey like to make a movie like this?
Well, let's just put it this way. Lots of hurdles, lots of puddles, lots of deviations, lots of uphill tasks, a couple of downhill ones which are easy. But all in all, you're doing it for a cause. You're doing it with a lot of conviction. And those hurdles are only coming to sort of make it right, to get the best out of us, so we can bring the best out in what we're creating, so that it becomes a better film. So whether it's limitations that you face, whether it's representing Guru Sahib on screen or the Char Sahibzade on screen, whether it's getting history right down to the wire, and whether it's the storytelling aspect of the film, which is very, very crucial, because at the end of the day, it's not a docudrama. Neither is it a religious film. It's basically a beautiful film which deals with religion, and there's a fine line between that. Over the past 5 years, we always looked at it as good going. We've got yet another thing coming our way, so we'll probably necessity is the mother of invention. We'll come up with something even better. And I think that's how it's panned out for us.
Exactly. When so much hard work and passion, when you feel for a topic, has gone through for years, you just feel differently for a movie. You know what I mean? Like it's different.
I think you're absolutely right, because you put in so much, but over and above, I think a story like this is so close to all our hearts. At least for every I've heard it, I don't know how many times from how many different buas and nanis and dadis, and I don't know how many times over till I would get the names right. And every time my nani would narrate this story to us,
correction.
They would always ask you, "Acha, maine 10 pe 4 Sahibzade na ki si," and then you'd always get confused because you'd always take one wrong name, But and that's their way of telling you.
It's like you're speaking in the mind of every child.
Literally. So I think so the story is so close to you. And hence you want to do even more justice to it, because you relate to it so much. And but, I think it was a good journey. We're very happy with the response to the film, honestly.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.